nghe nói tiếng they do try to show their face, I think.
What do you say?
They still try to show their face.
Okay. So, anybody there who are combined? I think I saw. I'm seeing. Okay. You are combined. So let us start. Let them join later on during the class. Okay, so let me present. So boys and girls, we have been learning chapter 2. We have been learning chapter 2, physical features to India. This is the last part. Last time we discussed about peninsular plateau, and today we shall start with the discussion about Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Do you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Good. So let us continue. So we will start from here. Okay. Just somebody is coming. Okay. We talk about this, and today we will start from here, from this area. The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. See here, this is the map, physical map of India, and so this section is known as the Peninsular Plateau. And see here, this is the Western Ghats, and this is the Eastern Ghats. Now let us compare. See, let us read this area. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters as against 600 meters of the Eastern Ghats. That means the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The height of the Western Ghat is between 900 to 1600 meters, whereas for the Eastern Ghat it is 600 meters only. Another point of difference is here. See, the Western Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by rivers draining into Bay of Bengal. That means broken in many places. Okay, Eastern Ghats are discontinuous, irregular, dissected means it is broken at many places. Let us see here. See, let us say this is the peninsula part. Okay, and here lies the Western Ghats. Western Ghat is a continuous mountain range, and here lies the Eastern Ghats. So it is broken at many places like this. It is not continuous, it is broken like this. So in between these many rivers are flowing here. Godavari, Mahanadi like this, then Kaveri, Krishna. So many rivers are cutting the Eastern Ghats, and that is why it is broken at many places. And again, see about the height. So let us see, just if we cut here, so it looks like this. See, and this side what is there, and this side, here we have Arabian Sea, and here we have Bay of Bengal. Okay, very good. And see, and here lies the Western Ghats, and here lies the Eastern Ghats. Okay, that means, as I told you earlier, the Western Ghat is higher than the Eastern Ghats. So the altitude of the Western Ghat is between 600 to 1900 to 1600, right? And for the Eastern Ghat, it is around 600 meters above the sea level. So these are the main difference between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay, and here the Western Ghats cause orographic rainfall by facing the rain-bearing moist winds to rise along the western slopes of the Ghats. That means the Western Ghats are influencing the climate of the western coast. Okay, so it causes orographic rainfall. So what does it mean? See, here this is the coastal area. Let us say this is the Western Ghat, and here lies the sea, that is the Arabian Sea. Okay, Arabian Sea. So rain-bearing wind from the Arabian Sea is forced to rise above the slopes of along the slopes of the Western Ghats, and when rain-bearing winds are forced to rise upwards, it is cooled down, clouds are formed, and there will be rainfall here. Okay, and such type of rainfall is known as orographic rainfall in geography. Okay, here the term orosh means mountain. So rainfall which is caused by a mountain range is known as orographic rainfall. So in this way, the Western Ghats cause orographic rainfall along the western coast. That is the point mentioned there. Okay, any question about this? Any question? Okay, good. And see, now let us try to find out the highest point, highest peak of the Western Ghats. See, the height of the Western Ghats progressively increases from north to south, and the highest peak include the Anai Mudi. So this is the highest peak in the peninsular plateau, the Anai Mudi, 2,695 meters above the sea level, and the second highest one is Doda Beta, 2,637, and for the Eastern Ghats, Mahendragiri, altitude 1,501 meters is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats. Now let us see. Okay, let us see the location. So here lies the Anai Mudi. Here, see, this is the highest peak in the Western Ghat, also the highest peak in the peninsular plateau, and the highest peak in the Eastern Ghat is here, Mahendragiri. Okay, altitude 1,501. So these two peaks you have to be remembered for the map work. And see here some in this peninsula plateau, some famous hill stations are there. Out of them, this one, see, Uddagamandalam, popularly known as Uti, very famous hill station, okay, and a very famous tourist spot in South India is there. Then another one is the Kadai Canal, okay, Kadai Canal. So these are the important hill stations, tourist spots in the peninsular plateau. Next we have, see, one of the distinct features of the peninsular plateau is the black soil area known as Deccan Trough. This is of volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. See here, actually here is flowing a river. This is the Narmada river, okay, this is the Narmada. This river is known as Narmada. And see the plateau south of Narmada river is known as Deccan Plateau. That one we have discussed earlier. The plateau south of Narmada river is known as Deccan Plateau. And this Deccan Plateau is covered with black lava soil, and it is also known as Deccan Trough. Why? See, we have already learned about the origin of the Himalayas, okay. So we learned that between 60 to 70 million years before present, Himalayan mountains were uplifted. During that time, there were so many volcanic eruptions here in this area, okay. There were so many volcanic eruptions here, fissure eruptions. Simply say there were so many cracks here, so many cracks were there, and through the cracks lava was oozing out and thus spreading whole this area, okay. And after cooling down the lava, it becomes the black soil, and this is known as Deccan Trough, okay. So any question?
No, sir.
Okay. And this black soil is very fertile, and it is suitable for cultivation of cotton and this sugar cane, very famous in Maharashtra and Gujarat area, okay. So this is about the peninsular plateau. The next important physical feature in India is the Indian desert. I think all of you have known the location of Rajasthan, right? And Indian desert, also known as the third desert, is in Rajasthan, is here. See, the Indian desert is here, the great Indian desert. Aravalli mountain range is also here. Now let us.
Your house.
Yes, my house Aravalli, but very what to say, indiscipline. Okay, so let us continue. The Indian desert lies towards the western margins of Aravalli Hills. That means Indian desert lies west of Aravalli Hills. Just see here, okay. Here we have Aravalli range, and Indian desert lies west of Aravalli. See, just see, north, south, then here lies east, this is east, and this is west, okay. So it is here, this Indian desert is here. And it is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. So what are sand dunes? Actually, see, sand dune means simply mound of sand, okay. Sand dune Sand dune means simply you can say mounds of sands, a small hill of sand, okay, or heaps of sand, that is called sand dunes. And this desert is covered with sand dunes, and the rainfall is say about 150 millimeters per year, that is only 15 centimeters in a year. It has arid climate with low vegetation cover. Arid means, you know, desert. It has desert climate with little vegetation, okay, only small trees and grasses, cactus are there. Streams appear during the rainy season, that means the rivers are not perennial, okay, they are seasonal rivers, and appear during the rainy season only. When there is rainfall, then there will be water in the river valley, and when there is no rainfall, then no water in the river valley. That means seasonal, okay. And the Luni is the only large river in this region. The largest river in Rajasthan is Luni river, okay. And most of the rivers in Rajasthan cannot reach the sea, okay, they disappear into the sand after flowing for a while. And such type of river is known as ephemeral in geography. Ephemeral means short-lived. Okay, I accept you. Some of them are very good, okay. Any question up to here? Up to here? Okay, so let us proceed.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I'll just type.
Type it. Actually, see, yes.
From where did the water of the river from this Rajasthan come from? Like, from monsoon rain, or like from which rain?
Yes, it is mainly from the monsoon, okay. But in the monsoon season also there is little rainfall in Rajasthan. And some of the rivers in Rajasthan rise from the Aravalli hills, and some of the rivers rise from lakes also, okay. Some lakes are there in Rajasthan, like Pushkar, Sambar, like this, okay. But most of the rivers, we have to say, are fed by rainfall only, okay. And about the temperature of Rajasthan desert, it is more than 50 degrees Celsius during the daytime. But it is as low as 0 degree or minus sometimes in the night time, okay. And about the reasons we will discuss in chapter 4. So why so many big range of temperature is there in Rajasthan desert, that will be discussed in chapter 4, okay. Any other question? What do you mean that appear during rainy season? What do you mean? You know, Luni is also not a perennial river, okay, and this is also an ephemeral river, that is a seasonal one. Water is not flowing continuously throughout the year, okay. Any other? Shall we proceed? Okay. See here, Barsan. So this is a type of sand dune, okay. Barsan crescent-shaped sand dunes cover larger areas, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan boundary. See, Barsan means, see here, Barsan means crescent-shaped sand dunes. See, here Barsan looks like, if you see a Barsan from the sky, it looks like this. Okay, and this is the direction of the wind. And if you cut along this line, it looks like this. And this is the direction of the wind, and this is called Barsan. This is called Barsan. Okay, and about the longitudinal sand dunes, actually see it is like this. Okay, and in the longitudinal sand dune, the direction of wind is parallel with the sand dune like this. So this is the direction of wind, and this is called longitudinal sand dunes. This is called longitudinal sand dunes, and these are mainly found along the Indo-Pakistan border. The remaining part of Rajasthan, we generally find Barsan. Okay, actually Barsan is a Saharan word. Okay, and it means a crescent-shaped sand dune if you look from the sky. So these are the two types of sand dunes found in Rajasthan. Okay, so any question about Rajasthan desert?
Sir,
Yes.
the meaning of Saharan, can you repeat it again?
Meaning of what?
Saharan.
No,
Yes,
no.
Barsan, I mean. Barsan is
No. See, Sahara desert, you know, it is in the northern part of Africa, right?
Yes.
And this Barsan is derived from the Saharan word. Means Saharan word means the language spoken in Sahara desert. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this word is derived from those people living in Sahara desert. Okay. And
Yes,
the Saharan is not the meaning of Barsan. Okay. So Barsan means crescent shape. And so we are borrowing this word from them. Okay, from the people of Africa. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then here, next important feature is the coastal plains. And as you know, Peninsula Plateau is flanked by these two seas. As you know, I think all of you have already learned. We have Arabian Sea here. We have Bay of Bengal here, and here this area. Okay, so this area is the western coastal plain, and this side is known as the eastern coastal plain. Now let us see. So we have got two types of coastal plain: western coastal plain lying along the Arabian Sea, and this eastern coastal plain along the Bay of Bengal coast. And see, let us read. The western coast sandwiched between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea is a narrow plain. So western coastal plain is a narrow one. It consists of three sections. The northern part of coast is called Konkan, that is Mumbai to Goa. The central stretch is called Kannar, while the southern stretch is called Malabar. Okay, so let us see here. So let us say this is again the peninsular plateau, and here lies the Western Ghats, and as you know here, this is what we call Arabian Sea. And see, so this section is known as the Western Coastal Plain, and it is divided into 3 divisions. Okay, one is from Mumbai to up to Goa area, this area. Okay, and another one is in the middle, third one is in the south. Okay, and this is known as Konkan Coast, this is known as Kanar, and this is known as Malabar. See, the first one is known as Konkan, the middle one is known as Kanar, and the southernmost is known as Malabar Coast. It is mainly in Kerala. So these are the 3 sections of the Western Coastal Plain. Konkan Coast in the north, Kanar in the middle, and Malabar in the south. And the Western Coastal Plain is a narrow plain, that you have to know. Next we have the plains along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. You know, the Eastern Coastal Plain is wider than the Western Coastal Plain, and it is a level land. In the northern part, it is referred to as the Northern Sarkar, and the southern is known as the Coromandel Coast. Large rivers such as Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri have formed extensive delta along this coast. And Silka is an important lake along the east coast. Now let us see. So here, so here lies the Eastern Ghats. This is the Eastern Ghats, and you know the Eastern Coastal Plains are wider. See, comparing with the Western Coastal Plain, it is wider, and it is level lane also. So this is the Eastern Coastal Plain, and it is divided into 2 sections. Okay, and this is known as Northern Sarkar, and this is known as Coromandel. Okay, see, this is and this is known as Coromandel Coast. So we have 2 sections only in the eastern coast, Northern Sarkar and Coromandel. And one more thing you have to know is that here the rivers flowing here, for example, this Godavari forms delta. Mahanadi river also forms delta. Likewise, other river, Kaveri, Krishna also forms delta. Okay, do you remember what delta is? See, this is a coastal area, and a river is flowing down here. And when the river closes a sea, the slopes become very gentle, and that is why so many distributaries are formed. Last time we talked about the distributaries also. So these are the distributaries. Okay, water is diverting like this in different channels, thus forming a triangle shape. Okay, you know triangle. This is what we call delta in Greek. Okay, so since it formed the shape of a triangle, we call it delta. So rivers along the eastern coast form delta. Okay, and Silica Lake, let us see the location of Silica Lake. Silica Lake is here. This is Silica Lake. Okay, this is the biggest lake along the eastern coast, the Silica Lake. Any question about the coastal plain, boys and girls?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Then let us proceed. So the last one, the last important feature is the islands, and I think you might have learned the two island groups also. What are those island groups? Let us find out from the map. So here lies Lakshadweep island groups, right? It is in the Arabian Sea, and in the Bay of Bengal we have these Andaman and Nicobar island groups. So these are the two major island groups in the Indian Ocean. Now let us read. See here, you are seeing a photograph of an island. An island is a landmass which is surrounded by water on all sides. And let us read Lakshadweep. Okay, Lakshadweep Islands group lying close to Malabar coast of Kerala, and this group island is composed of small coral islands. That means Lakshadweep Islands are formed by corals. So what are corals? Actually, corals, as you find here, these corals, the coral polyps are short-lived microorganisms which live in colonies. So corals are microscopic organisms which live in groups, okay, and they grow in the shallow water bodies, shallow warm water bodies, and their cells secrete calcium carbonate, and when the corals are dead, they are compacted in this way. Now let us see one thing. See here, this is sea level. This is the sea level, and here this is the sea floor. Let us say some corals are here in groups. Okay, some corals are growing here, and as I told you that corals secrete calcium carbonate, and when corals are dead, so it will be compacted, it will be hardened, and this process will continue. After that, again new corals will grow and so again compacted. In this way it will grow like this. Okay, it will grow, and it will sometimes rise above the sea level, so it becomes an island. Okay, so this is known as coral island, and Lakshadweep island is formed by corals. Okay, this is known as coral island. So Lakshadweep is formed by these corals. Okay. And see about the types of coral, let us discuss later on. See, let us read first here. Earlier they were known as Lakshadweep, Minikoi, Amindivi. In 1973 these were named as Lakshadweep. Okay, it covers a small area of 32 square kilometers only. Kavaratti Island is the capital of Lakshadweep, and this island group has a great diversity of flora and fauna. So many plants and wild animals are there in the Lakshadweep Island. Piti Island, which is uninhabited, has a bird sanctuary. So Piti Island is not habited by the human being. No human beings are there in the Piti Island, and we have a bird sanctuary there. Okay. And let us go more about the corals. See here, three types of corals are there. Okay, they are mainly of three types of corals are there: barrier reef, fringing reef, and atolls. Okay, so what are these? Let us see. See, let us say this is landmass. Okay, here this is landmass. If corals are formed just along the coast like this, okay, so this is a coral reef, let us say. So this side is landmass, and if corals are formed just along the coast, this is called fringing reef. Okay, this is called fringing reef. If corals are formed just along the sea coast, we call it fringing reef. And if corals are formed little away from the sea coast, somewhere here, let us say, somewhere here, let us say this is a coral reef, and this is called barrier reef. Okay, this one is called barrier reef. It is best examples are found in Australia, nearby Australia. The Great Barrier Reef is also there. So this is called barrier reef. And the third type of coral, this is an island. See, atoll. Okay, the third type is known as atoll. So atoll looks like a circular island. It looks like this. So for example, this is a crescent shape island formed by coral. This is another crescent shape island formed by a coral, and this is another crescent shape island formed by coral, and in the middle you will find a small rounded island, and here lies water. So here you will find water, and these are the coral islands. Okay, all together known as atoll. So atoll is a circular atoll is a circular island, coral island. If you cut here, if you cut along this line, let us say here A, okay, here let us say B, and here let us say C. So if we cut here, if you cut here, it looks like this. See, and here lies water. Here lies water, and see, this is A. Here this is A. Then this is B, and the middle one is C. So this is the cross section of an atoll. Okay, atoll is a coral island. So these are the three types of corals: fringing reef, barrier reef, and the atoll. Okay, any question about coral? So since no questions are coming, let us proceed. And about the this Andaman Nicobar Island, see, if we compare Andaman Nicobar Island with the Lakshadweep Islands, okay, they are bigger. See, the Andaman Nicobar Islands are bigger in size and more numerous and scattered. Andaman Nicobar Island groups are bigger, and the number is also more. The entire group of island is divided into two sections. Okay, the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. See here, just see here. Okay, this is known as Andaman group of island, and this is known as Nicobar group of island. Okay, Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of the submarine mountains. What does it mean? It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of the submarine mountains. See here, see this map. Last time we discussed about the Himalayan mountain. So this is the Himalayan mountain, and the Himalayan mountains are turning a sharp bend here in Arunachal Pradesh area. It takes a U-turn, then again it is going southwards. See here, this is the Northeast Hills, okay, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills, Mizo Hills are here. Then after that it enters Myanmar, known as Arakan Yoma. Okay, here also we have the Himalayan mountain chains. then it enters the Bay of Bengal Sea. The mountain ranges, the Himalayan mountain ranges enters the Bay of Bengal, and sometimes the highest peak is rising above the sea level, just like an island. Let us say this is the Arakanyoma, and it enters. Let us say this is the sea level, and it enters the sea, Bay of Bengal. And sometimes after running some distances in the sea floor, sometimes the highest point is rising above the sea level like this. Okay, and again it enters the sea, it like this. So it becomes the Andaman Nicobar group of island. Okay, it becomes the Andaman Nicobar group of island, and that is the point mentioned here. Any question? See, submarine mountain means a mountain range which is running under the water. Okay, and as I told you that the Himalayan mountains enters in the Bay of Bengal, and here it is running below the sea, and sometimes the highest point of the range is rising above the sea, and it becomes island. And so this is what we call Andaman. Okay, Andaman and Nicobar group of island. Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. So in this way, the Andaman Nicobar Islands are originated. Okay, these island groups are of great strategic importance for the country, and there is great diversity of flora and fauna in this group islands too. So many plants, animals are also there in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, and this island is a very hot and rainy place. And the type of climate found there is known as equatorial type of climate, and it has a very thick vegetation cover, well forested area. And in the Andaman Nicobar we have the only active volcano of India, known as Barren Island. Okay, Barren Island is the only active volcano of India. It lies in the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. Okay, so these are the important physical features to India. And you know, here this paragraph tells that each and every landform has its own importance. Say for example, mountains provide us water resources, then forest resources. Plains provide us these agricultural crops. Plains are known as granaries. Okay, so they provide, plains provide us different types of agricultural crops. Plateaus, whereas provide minerals. Okay, plateaus are providing us so many useful minerals. So in this way, each physiographic division, each landform has an importance, okay, to us. And this much for today. Any question from your side? Any question? Okay. Okay, please explain Barsan again. I cannot understand clearly. Actually, see, Barsan is a crescent shaped sand dune. Again, I will draw you. Okay, Barsan is, if you look from the sky, if you look a sand dune from the sky, okay, it takes the shape of a crescent like this, like this. And so this is the direction of wind. This is called Barsan, and it also moves. See, as I told you, if you cut here, then it looks like this, and this is the direction of the wind. And Barsan also moves. See, when the wind blows over it, the sand will be, okay, will be rolling, and again it will be rolling in this way. Okay, it is carried like that. And see, here it will be deflating, and it will be like this. Okay, when the wind blows, the sand dune moves like this. So today nearby your house you may find a barsan, but in the morning it may be missing also, because sand dunes are highly mobile, because it is carried away by the winds very easily. Okay, and so barsan is simply a crescent shaped sand dune, a crescent shaped sand dune. And the barsan is a geographical term, okay, used by the geographers, and it refers to the crescent shaped sand dunes. Any other question? Okay, then thank you very much for joining my class. After this class, please leave your name in the WhatsApp group. Okay, today I think around 24, I think two of you are sharing, so it may be around 24, 25. So please leave your names in the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you all.